Warning. Warning. This is not a test. This is not a test.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Makoni.
With the launch of Makoni Entertainment and Makoni Competizone alongside Makoni Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at McConeySetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Drop it.
Tonight, Nashville Superspeedway is the site. What should be some thrilling action for the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series. We begin our countdown to green for tonight's coverage of a theme week for these competitors as they look to showcase their favorite musical acts and more. Tonight, it's the Southern Voice 200 as we get ready here from Lebanon, Tennessee. Good evening, welcome to Ball and TV's coverage of tonight's action. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside me in the booth tonight is Sky Shrek with DJ Live producing using cameras provided by Whiplash SimCams. Tonight we're in the Music City, or at least the area of the Music City, as we complete the summer portions of the schedule, or should say the spring. It's been a busy schedule so far, to say the very least, Sky. We've had a mix of speedways, we have a mix of road courses. Tonight, we close out this segment of the series here in Nashville.
Nashville is such a good track. It's one of my favorites on the whole service, and that's because it's pretty unique in comparison to a lot of other tracks. It's a bit smaller at about 1 1/3 miles, which really sets it apart from some of those bigger tracks, because you end up having to get on the brakes a lot, and you end up at a lot lower speeds. Typically at those 1.5 miles, you're still running upwards of about 150 in the corners. Here in Nashville, you're never going to be going faster than maybe 135, 130 in a corner, and that's if you've got fresh tires. This place can wear tires. This place produces some great racing, and with a hot track temp of 113 degrees tonight, I think we're going to see a really good one.
And so far in this series, we've had 5 different drivers lock themselves into the postseason via their victories so far. Shannock, Wilson, Holston, Wren, and Winkfield are those drivers with distinctions per those who have been able to attend races. Now things have looked at the point standings. The cut line still sees Reggie Kime now up 31 points, where Andrew Schob, Jared Knopsnyder is currently a minus 33. Zach White, who showed good speed last time out of the Coke 600, is currently 41 back in those points standings entering tonight for the cutoff. And so, it's going to be the busy time for many of these drivers to sort themselves out. Not that many laps tonight, Sky, only 150, but the fuel limit's 50%. So there is a chance of pit stops in each stage.
Yeah, that pit stop is going to be something all these drivers are going to have to worry about, because this pit road at Nashville can be a little tricky coming out of turn 4. It's definitely one that these drivers are going to have to watch out for as they make their way into the pit lane tonight and as they make their way up towards the end of the stage tonight. You got 5 tire sets available this race, or 5 tire sets in the pit, 6 in total this race. I think these drivers are going to use a lot of those, especially if this track stays upwards of 110 degrees. It will chew up tires tonight, so that's going to be something to watch when these drivers make moves down pit road. I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of 2-tire calls. I do think we're going to be seeing a lot of slipping and sliding.
It should be interesting to see how these drivers fare out. Plus, it's build week. Remember that, Sky. For many of these drivers, this track going to feel a lot more different than previous weeks because the tire parameters are different. The aerodynamics are different in the Cup cars. You also have a refreshed look for Nashville in general for this week. How do you expect things to fare out with these drivers, especially with how big the dirty air now is for these cars?
Well, we're going to see tonight. This is our first race since that big change on iRacing. So this is going to be our first real test here in the Mystic Racing League of how this is going to affect our races going forwards. Nashville is a track that's pretty one line. You really want to run the bottom around here. It's faster than the top in almost every circumstance. But we'll see if that causes dirty air to play a factor in this, or we'll see if these drivers are still able to make moves down here. It's all up for grabs, I think, this race.
Drivers have already completed qualifying. Only 26 drivers making their way out to Nashville here this evening. So we'll see how they'll fare out here tonight. Qualifying, again, already coming to a close. On pole, Cody Giles putting up some dominating speed at Charlotte last Sunday. He'll start on the pole alongside Christian Barnes, who's in a Toyota this evening in the 27. Then it's Jackson Hatawa in row number 2. Isaac Wilson starts in the second row as well. Then it's going to be Brad Nelson alongside Brett Wren. Wren supporting the Indiana Pacers tonight. Then it's going to be Adam Holston and John Ullman amongst your top 8. Rounding out your top 10 starters tonight, David Moyer and Joshua Thornton rounds out the first few rows here, Sky.
And I do want to give an update. Cody Giles is going to get an EOL penalty tonight, so he will be starting from the back. 11th will be Alex Pollock in the 92, Aaron Esp on his outside in the 16 car. 13th going to be Robert Mackay in the 88, Andrew Allen in the 96 in 14th. Reggie Kime will roll off 15th tonight in that 9 car, Zach White on his outside in the 16. 17th going to be Alan Zukov in the 91, 18th Caleb Hunt in the 78. And the last 2 cars on your top 10 will be Jared Knopsnyder in the 82 and Christopher Benning in the 64.
Next row will feature Joshua Gillen alongside him, Jeffrey Fisher in the 22 machine NP22. Stephen Gill starts 23rd, alongside him, Gino Valenti. Then rounding out the drivers, these drivers did not set times tonight. Rayshon Wingfield and Michael Wade will start at the tail here tonight. The EOL penalties tonight include your pole sitter, Cody Giles, Rayshon Wingfield, Joshua Gillen, also with the EOL penalty, Robert McKay. As you look at your temperatures in the lower left corner of your screen, expect things to get a little bit more chilly as the night goes on. It's already 98 degrees Fahrenheit, just past 5 p.m. in sim time. What are your keys to a good race here tonight, as this track should get more grip as the night goes on?
Yeah, and it's already going to have a lot more grip than it did in qualifying. We skipped forward about an hour from the end of qualifying to the start of the race tonight, so that is going to drop track temps pretty drastically heading into the main event. Clouds going to come in, darkness is going to fall, so that is definitely going to keep getting lower as this night develops. I think it's just staying on top of the track, managing the new changes, and learning how to drive with this new aero package, with the new tire sets that these Cup cars have. It's going to be a little different tonight, as you see the onboard there for Jackson Hautala. It's going to be a little different for him as well, and I think mastering everything that's new is going to be the key to success.
See Jackson Hautala already being very communicative as race control gives its final few commands over the radio here. Do you have a certain driver you think is going to come out on top? Is there a pick you have for the race win?
I think Hautala's got a pretty good chance here. He'll be starting on the inside of the front row there after Cody Giles going to take that EOL penalty. He's always got a lot of speed in this series. I think he'll do pretty well tonight. You got Brett Wren back there in the 24. I'd say he's my opposite pick to win. Go Thunder. But he also has some speed in that 24 car. He's starting pretty far up front. We'll see what he can do.
So, drivers get all set to go. And drivers already have been told that they cannot use the access road in 3 and 4 tonight. For anyone wonders about that situation, they must go off Turn 4 based on the race control command, only on the pit road access. You see a different wall art for Alex Pollock tonight as well, and the backdrop. So, happy with us for tonight's coverage here on Ball TV for the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series. The Southern Voice 200 here from Nashville. Which musical band will go to the front? Who will be able to control things early? Let's find out. Green flags out, we're underway from Nashville.
Oh, we got a car almost around. Brett Rinn got some contact, and now he will go around head on into that outside wall. That is going to be an early caution, and that is going to be a faster pair used for that 24 car. That thing is totaled after a couple hard hits.
Caution flag is out, and as you see top of your screen, meatball flag already for the 24. Wren hitting a couple different drivers on the way in the spin. Thornton helped him. Then he bounced off one of the Border Patrol cars, and SB. Black Diamond Designs replay shows the hard lick into the wall. Ullman collected White into it. A couple others also picking up some relative contact. But it's only the 24 that gets the meatball.
He had it caught up for a second there. It looked like he was going to keep it straight, and then S just came in from behind. That was what really sent him into the outside wall. You'll get another look here on the Black Diamond Designs replay. But what happened to Brett Rinn here in turn 1, lap 1? Just contact with Joshua Thornton. He got it saved, and yeah, there's Aaron S. Big wreck. Looks like a little bit of a hit for that 77 car, Zach White as well. And then one more hit for the road there.
That was Robert McCann, last hit already. EOL penalty, 29 is requested as cause of caution there. So, already drivers getting warned about being careful here. For the stage only to lap 40. And already our first yellow flag just like that with Christian Barnes up at the front. So things are already sparking up a little bit here in this one, Sky. It's going to be one of those tracks where drivers described it before the build as multi-groove. In real life, it was very hard to pass here.
Yeah, in real life, it is very hard to pass here. The inside line is always very prevalent. That can be the case in iRacing too. I mean, like, you might see some scenarios where drivers will run the top. And I think with this new aero package, they're going to be a little more encouraged to run further up the track. But the fastest way around here, 9 times out of 10, is the bottom. And if you're making a move on the outside, it's because you're side drafting.
You see these drivers just rolled their way around the track, getting ready to double up this time by the stripe should be. Have not seen Wren complete the service for his repairs yet, by the way. Ullman and McKay are also amongst those spending time down pit road getting repairs done. And this different look Nashville, a lot more prevalent look at the front straightaway to see the stripe at least. Before it was a very small stripe at best. The visual updates here adding a lot more graphics around the front straightaway at least.
Yeah, and I don't think Brett Rinn had his fast repair checked when he came into pit road. That car had a destroyed engine, so if he didn't get that thing rechecked, he is going to be in that pit stall for a long, long time, and his day might be done. He's going to be hoping the Pacers don't do that for real here in about 10 minutes when that game starts.
So to reset your field, Barnes, Tawa, Wilson, Nelson, Holston, Pollock, Moyer, Allen, Hunt, SB. Coming up to 36 remaining here in stage number 1. Just like that after a lengthy 600 miles last Sunday for this field. Field taking its time to be able to get up to the restart zone here behind the pace car. Speed limit here tonight for the pace car. Only 55 miles an hour around this 1.33 mile facility. Here we go to the restart zone. Green flag is out. And the outside gets the bigger jump. Hatawa jumps past the leader. Inside for Barnes. Didn't get the fire off he was looking for.
No, and Hautala is way up there. If he was running that line in about 30 laps, he'd have to deal with some marbles up there, but it's still pretty clean right now, and he is trying to use it to make some time on Christian Barnes. Doesn't work too well there through 1 and 2, and Barnes gets right back even and then some. Hautala is going to try to run the top as Barnes disconnects from the session there. Wow, he's not going to come back in either. That is a complete internet failure for the 27 of Christian Barnes, and he is going to, at best, free fall through the field, at worst, fall out of the race tonight, and Jackson Hautala will get the lead without a battle.
Restart is on a review. Race control did note. 09, jumping the restart. Pass through penalty for Jackson Hautala. They felt he got too big of a jump, and that means Isaac Wilson will take over the lead when the 09 serves its penalty.
Isaac Wilson going from 4th to 1st after that penalty. Brad Nelson will jump up there as well. Couple drivers making some good time early on in this race. Hautala dropping down to the inside. Looked like he might have been thinking about coming down, but he weaves it right back up. Maybe trying to break the toe here. Play with the new draft of these cars. Now he will bring it down in that 09 machine. Got to make sure he gets pit road speed here. It can be tricky at this track, but he's all down. Got the speed limit good, and he will roll through the pits and come out at the very tail end of the lead lap. Your new leader will be that 93 car of Isaac Wilson. Oh, there goes the 33. That is Brad Nelson, your second place runner around in the middle of the field.
Caution flag is out once again after a huge snap from the 33. One of the major things off corner exit with this build, a lot of people who are used to full throttle, you see with the Black Diamond Designs replay, snapping loose. You have to be very careful on the gas now.
Yeah, there he goes. Just loses it off the corner, and then big overcorrection up there into that 8 car. Major damage for Adam Holston in the 8 as well in that accident. Kind of reminds me a little bit of how these cars were when they first came out on iRacing, where it can just snap loose on you off the corner. It's a lot more prone to that kind of looseness than it used to be. There's one driver caught out from it. We might see more tonight.
Yeah, Nelson picking up the requirement for end of longest line as a result of the contact there. 8 of Holston amongst the many was significant damage. The G59 machine will have to come down to pit road for repairs.
Yeah, the right front of that car looks like it's in big, big trouble there. He'll miss pit road on the replay, but he'll bring it down the next time. That right front is having some problems there for that 8 car. He's going to use his faster power most likely. I think he'll get it out pretty well. But now he's going to have to go 140 laps without a faster pair, so he's going to have to drive a little more carefully here for the rest of this race.
So plenty of repairs being done on pit road. Some taking the fast repair. Most electing to bank it for the time being. Wilson, Pollock, Moyer, Allen, your current top 4. We'll get ready for the choose coming up here. So pretty treacherous to start things off here, Sky. And for many people, it's been treacherous learning this new package feeling for this build for a reason.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we've seen a couple of cars around already. That big snap was probably the best example of a car having problems, but I would not be surprised if we saw 1 or 2 more similar accidents tonight from drivers just trying to learn a little more about how this car works. Unless they've been running a lot of officials, this might be their first time even running this new package. All they've had is the practice for this race to acclimate to it, and now they've got to figure it out here over 150 laps at a track. That's pretty different from every other track they've raced at, so it's a whole new challenge tonight, and one these drivers are going to have to master if they want to win.
Chooses good this time for the field. It looks like Pollock, the first one, chooses outside. Wilson chose the inside. So we get ready for the restart. Then it's going to be Moyer In row 2, Allen with him. Then it's going to be Zukov in the top 5. The restart with Caleb Hunt in 6th. So about to see how this field plays things out. Laps down include Barnes, 4 laps down, back after technical issues. Wren, after his crash, is back after 2 laps lost to get the faster pair. The field has just been asked if they do get that snap loose sensation, interesting enough, to make sure they do not come back up in the traffic. So race control is keeping everything buttoned up on the comms to make sure if anyone gets loose with this package, they know to stay out of traffic. Back it away. Good launch by Wilson. Big launch by Wilson, in fact.
Here comes Andrew Allen ducking it down to the bottom there. He looked high, got blocked, looked low, couldn't get the run he wanted into the corner, and he'll stay behind the 92 of Alex Pollock for now. David Moyer lurking back there in P4 as Allen continues to try to find a way around Alex Pollock. These are 2 cars that have come flying up the field tonight. Pollock has gone from 11th to 2nd. Allen from 14th to 3rd. They've both had great starts tonight, and now we're side by side behind them here. Moyer on the high side, that's Caleb Hunt down on the bottom in that 78. Alan Zukov also down there on the bottom, trying to get around Moyer. He's got a pretty decent run out of the corner, and Caleb Hunt is taking it a little easy down there on the bottom for now. Moyer will hold the spot.
We did have an incident off the start, by the way. Christopher Banning got spun down to the infield, has spun out twice. It's just gone back to pit road, so the 64's race is turning to a disaster. They've already lost a lap as a result of their incidents. We have a crash on pit road. Reggie Kime just came down the racetrack and just destroyed the 64 on pit road.
Oh my goodness, that is one of the stranger accidents I have seen in my life here. We're going to get a replay of this because this is pretty wild. Coming onto pit road here, this is Reggie Kime. He gets into the 27, hits the wall, hits John Ullman, and kind of just tracks straight across the grass and nails the 64 car of Christopher Benning, who was trying to pit to fix damage. I have never seen that before.
Now, the reason 27 was slowing down, race control just gave them a penalty, and that's what
Caution
sparked it.
out.
So this is a caution now on the racetrack, not for this incident you're still seeing, but plenty of people crashing. Yeah, this is the weirdest pit stop sequence I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is a new one. I can't say I've ever seen a car come like heat-seeking missile off the racetrack there and hit someone on pit road. The caution was for Stephen Gill. He had a snap loose coming out of turn, or coming through turn 2, and went head-on hard into the outside wall. Let's check out what happened right here as he makes it down the front straightaway. This is going to happen kind of exiting 2. It's a similar situation to what happened to that 33 car earlier on in the night. He just snaps loose out of the corner, way overcorrects, and it's a huge hit. Some contact there from Joshua Thornton as well in the 29.
And that broke the suspension on the 29 machine. The 3 also has come down for repairs already. See the look for Michael Wade. And the Black Diamond Design replay. Gonna be very busy tonight, it's pretty clear. As these drivers get used to things, Wade gets things crumpled up on the right front, locks it down, hits the wall. That bounce actually kept him from hitting even harder.
Yeah, kind of a lucky hit to the wall there, because that hit to the wall was what kept him out of that spinning car of Stephen Gill across the racetrack. Oh, yeah, that's the 29 car there of Joshua Thornton. Pretty heavy hit to that right side. A little bit of air on that right side as well. He'll take that faster pair. He'll come back out undamaged, but again, got to be a little more careful over these next few laps because he does not have the faster pair to burn if he gets in another accident.
So a chaotic race so far. We're on lap 17, by the way. Isaac Wilson set to control things for the Chews. Allen, Pollock, Hunt, Moyer, Zukov, Giles, along with Knopsteiner, SB, and Hatawa are the drivers lined up in the top 10 as they go here. So, what would your message be to the field so far? We've seen 3 crashes, 2 caution flags, and the attrition already building up here in Nashville.
Be patient, stay calm. Those are kind of the 2 main things you can do here when you're in a situation like this. It's a race of attrition. We've already figured that out. It's a whole new kind of aero package, whole new tire package with these Cup cars. Just stay calm, work out how these cars are going to drive here so that once you get to the last 25, 50 laps of this race, you know how to drive these things and you know what you need to do to get to the front.
By the way, biggest movers so far with this attrition-filled one. Hunt up 14, Allen along with Valenti up 12, Zukov 11 with Jared Knopsnyder. Expecting a lot more rotation in those positions as the night progresses here. Still 22 to go in stage 1 here in Nashville. How will they play things out here with so far everyone battling the feel of this new car on a layout of a track that most people may have not have tested yet before this week? Back on our way, Allen not getting a launch. Pollock able to get a better pull from second, looking to clear the 96.
They'll stay side by side there through the corner. We'll see if the 96 can get some speed on the top. Outside line's been doing pretty good today. Haven't seen anyone hit the wall up there, and we've seen some cars be able to kind of tamper the run of the car on the inside and make some moves. That's how Andrew Allen gets up the second right there, although struggling a little bit out of the corner. That might open the door for Alex Pollock. He's looking high, he's looking low, but he can't find the way around, and that run is for nothing exiting 4.
Christian Barnes having a terrible night, by the way. It's gotten worse for those wondering where is he on the pylon. Took a hard left into the infield, then had a technical issue. So the 27 has had things collapse for their chances to do much tonight. The race lead getting close. Allen and Wilson battling it out. Allen nearly got into the back into the 93. Now looks to try and find a way to poke. Goes right, goes left, goes everywhere.
I do think it's worth mentioning as we continue to battle up here at the front. We're not sure if these cars are good on fuel to the end of the stage. I think these cautions will certainly help, but we're not sure if these leaders are good. We know the cars at the back are. We're dooring at the back there with Hautala, and I believe that is Zukov in the 91 down there. A little bit of contact down the straightaway as these two try to sort out the position, and Hautala tries to come back from his drive-through penalty and surge through to the front of the field. He's running in 8th right now, side by side with the 8 of Adam Holston. Now trying to dig deep on that bottom and get in between those 2 identical cars of Moyer and Espy. And Espy is around off the corner. He's going to snap it back up onto the racetrack. The 29 is also around off the corner, and that'll be our caution.
Back at our yellow, multiple different spins going on at the same time. Oh boy, what else can you say? More mandatory repairs coming in for Michael Wade. 3 different spins down the back straightaway this time.
Yeah, we had one car go around in front of these two. We didn't even catch that. Thornton, yep, gets loose out of the corner and overcorrects back up the racetrack. John Ullman took a hard right into the outside wall there. He is pretty torn up as well in that 34 car. Looking at the fast repair situation, Ullman and Thornton have both already used theirs. That is going to be a lot of damage. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get it back out without going at least a lap down.
Cautions, precautions so far in the Music City.
Oh. He just got loose there on that Black Diamond Designs replay.
Yeah.
He was dodging the accident, tried to cut it back to the right to stay out of the car spinning on the apron and just lost it.
And most people have told me, based on discussions about this car so far and seen in testing sessions, If you have to turn right on a straightaway where you're primarily having to turn left, your car's toast. And guess what? Woman turned right.
Oh, big hit for Wade there as well. Oh, barely keeps it out of John Ullman, too. Could have been worse for that 3-car Michael Wade. He's already 1 lap down tonight. Gonna have to fix some damage, but it doesn't look like he'll go any more laps down. Although he has just left the session, so yeah, he's thrown in the towel. He's done for the night.
So more cars parking. Joshua Thornton is done for the night. So the 29's parked. Brett Wren amongst those now back in the lead lap, by the way, with all the caution flags that have built up on the racetrack, coming up to 1 and shoes. So while the pace speeds are lower, we're getting through these pace laps pretty quickly. Many of our competitors that we expect to be up front, dealing with a lot of damage though already. Right now you're seeing Jeffrey Fisher, the VR look so far. Laser focused his paint scheme tonight, bringing the focus on Matt Best as the musical act. Blind Date also has corn. I'm not going to read the back bumper on the race car.
We're going to show it anyway.
Yeah, so... Well, that's definitely going to be a warning afterwards in terms of context. But hey, we'll see if the back bumper stays attached at this point. As up front, Giles with significant damage looks to try and take the lead around the 93 off the restart.
That he will. It's going to be a pretty close one up here. You can kind of see some damage there on the front of Cody Giles. That nose is punched in on that 5 car. Gotta wonder how that'll affect him when we head off here.
So let's try this again. Do we want to see them do it again? Well, in terms of running a green flag lap, yes. In terms of caution flags, that's a different story. We're back on our way as Isaac once gets the launch. Already able to get a good pull away from the 5. Pollock able to take 3rd for now.
Man, that 5 car is a hole in his nose and a hole in the bumper. Both ends of that car are pretty crunched in right now, and he's still making good speed with it. We know these new cars can be a little more aero-dependent than they used to be, so that's something to keep an eye on here later in the race. As we're 3 wide back here for 10th, that's Rayshawn Winkfield in the middle. You've got Jeffrey Fisher on the bottom, and then he's the 77 on your ticker, or 77 on the car, but he's not actually the 77 on the racetrack. That's Robert McKay back there, driving the Spire car. Not to be confused with the actual 77 on the racetrack is Zach White.
Yeah, not sure of the paint scheme choice here tonight for McKay, but some of these drivers testing out that outside line, such as Holston. Gets a decent pull once you get to the front straightaway. If you're able to make it work, you just have to avoid getting tight and hitting that outside wall, it seems, here. So Holston making it work somewhat, now goes back to the inside line of the diamond.
Caught the apron a little bit there, and almost as a result gets loose off the corner. I think if you want to not get loose off the corner, you definitely don't want to hit the apron there, because that can really mess your car up on exit. Going side by side further back there, Winkfield kind of using up that another car further back. That's Andrew Allen in the 96. We got a lot of white and gold and green cars out here tonight.
Yeah, so far, some of those drivers having some battles. We just had some issues on the back straightaway. Hatawa nearly snapped loose. Another car getting loose. Turn 2 is everybody's bugaboo tonight. Everybody is struggling out of that part of the racetrack. It's going to be a learning curve now that you have to drive this car completely different on throttle and be very careful. It's a very big driver's car now.
Wingfield tried to go all the way up on the top there. Couldn't make it happen, but he'll now try to split the middle off the corner. from high to the middle. He's going to somehow get that move done and get a 2-for-1. Huge move there for Rayshon Winkfield in the 23 to get him up to 6th place over David Moyer and Adam Holston behind. That's exactly what he needs to do if he wants to march back up to the front of the field. Started last tonight with an EOL penalty, and he is moving 30 laps in.
Let's tend to go in stage 1 just like that, as we see. They're one of the musical cars here tonight in the field. The Highwaymen. For Andrew Allen. Making its way back to the pack. Still +6 from the starting position for the 96. It's been amongst the drivers who have been snapping loose off these corners, though, as they build up laps in the tires. Looking comfortable right now, though, this part of the run, as Winkfield tries to make a move on Hunt.
He gets the spot there for 5th. One thing I'm noticing is that the track temp is not falling as much as we thought it would. The sun is staying out. The track is staying hot. If anything, it's heating up here now, up to 96 degrees. So that might be something to watch here with these cars snapping loose. The more the tires wear and the more the track kind of stays the same temperature instead of cooling down, we could see some issues later. Haltala into the fence there as we were side by side for the lead of the race here. Cody Giles has caught Isaac Wilson, and now on the inside, he's trying to make that move happen. He's trying to force it around the 93. Pretty good run out of the corner, even though the 93 was running close to his door on exit. This is going to let the 5 get a big dive down into 3 and 4. If he can hold it here on exit, he'll be good, but the 93 has such a better run through the middle of the corner. He'll hold it for now. He'll lead the lap, but we're still side by side entering lap 34.
Still side by side. Wilson forced to try the high side. Able to clear. Giles tries to hold on and get some side draft. Try and see if he can pack some air to the rear end as well. Answer is no. Forced to regroup. Side draft is one of the major things that sees a major boost with this package, by the way, on the service here. We're seeing some drivers attempt that here. One thing to be able to have to be careful of, though, if you get close to a driver's back bumper, you can easily spin them out, taking all the air off the spoiler, and it can happen fast.
Oh, big loose out of the corner there for Cody Giles. That's going to open him up to a threat from Jackson Haltala, looking to get back up to 2nd, and he will. He might be able to get clear. He will be able to get clear off the corner. That 5 is struggling at the moment. I wonder if that body damage there on the front and the rear is kind of hurting his ability to run behind another car, because Haltala and Winkfield have just gotten around him, and now Alex Pollock is up the inside of that car looking for 4th as well. Giles dropping back in a hurry.
Yeah, that was the tough thing with the damage. Would he be able to do something with the car? The answer right now is somewhat, but long run, it's hurt. Here comes Haltala, your pick earlier on tonight here, Sky. He's been able to charge his way up to the battle for the race lead. Now looks to make the charge to the inside.
Oh, he's a little bit loose. They're a little bit tight. He'll get loose off the corner. Near contact with Wilson. Near contact with Winkfield, but he keeps it straight. He's so focused right there. You can see his live shot. I don't think he's blinked the whole time we've had this camera up. He is going at it right now. A little bit high off the corner. We'll see if that can set up a run for him to get around Winkfield here for 2nd, as that 23 car is moving up to the front of the field. Started at the back, and by the end of stage 1 here, he'll be getting stage points. He really wants the stage win. If he can get the run on Wilson, he might have a shot. He'll dive low off the corner as Wilson bangs it off the fence. We're going to go side by side into 3, and it's Rayshon Winkfield, your new leader.
First time tonight, the 23 has led, and it coming to 2 laps to go in the stage. Side trap for Wilson, and he turns the 23. 23 up on the wall, squeezes Haltala on the fence. Pit road is closed as we stay green.
And that is huge for Haltala. He is going to go all the way back through the field tonight. That is not what you want in that 09 car, because he's not going to get stage points. He is going to have to limp it all the way back. That car is in major trouble. He's not the only one. Gino Valanci got in a big accident there. Kind of in a similar place hit Brent Rinn. We can catch up to that when we're under caution. For now, Isaac Wilson is trying to bring it around to win the stage with Cody Giles behind.
Coming to close out the stage just like that here. Wilson able to hold on for now. Hatawa wants those happen to come down for meatball flags already. But it's going to be Isaac Wilson coming to take the green-white checkered here. He'll take the stage over Giles and Pollock. Wakefield and Allen also pick up stage points as we're under caution here in Nashville.
Good stage win for Isaac Wilson, although I'm sure he would have liked to do it a little bit cleaner there after that contact with Wingfield and Hautala. Both of those cars dropped through the field. Wingfield finishes 4th. He'll still get some stage points. Hautala crossed. Last car on the lead lap. He will get nothing coming out of this stage. This is the accident involving Brent Rinn I was talking about a little bit earlier there in that 24 car. This is going to come off the corner. It's going to be involving him and Gino Volanti in the 35. And they're both going to walk away with some pretty major damage. Rinn snaps loose, slides it, gets into the outside wall, and then straight back down into Volanti. He kind of just missiled that car. I think you got to hold the brakes a little bit more there.
So another incident in what has been an attrition-filled one. Let's take a quick break. More coverage coming up. Watch Ball on TV for coverage of the Mystic Racing League as we continue towards Stage 2 for the Southern Voice 200.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Nashville, where so far attrition's been high. How high? Already almost half the field is a lap down in this race as a result of crashes, incidents, or for whatever other reason. Just Brent Sky Shrek with you, DJ Line producing as we're seeing how things now play out with Joshua Gillen staying out after rolling through pit road. He had been down pit road 4 times, including the last time through. So he is up front for the first time here.
Yeah, Gillen came down, but he didn't actually pit. He just kind of rolled through his box. So he is going to be on older tires, and he will pull off now. So late move down pit road for Gillen. He will go to the back of the field, and we'll cycle around to Cody Giles up front with Alex Pollock running P2. think you mentioned it, but we only have half the field on the lead lap, and we've got about 5 cars who are already out of the session, and another 2 who are 10 laps down.
Keep in mind, the 10 has come down this time by. Drivers like Johns have already had to use a fast repair. It looks like the 5. That's a clean race car now. Caleb Hunt in second. It's Pollock and McKay, Winkfield and Allen. Once the first 3 rows, it looks like for this restart. And it's going to be a curious battle for a lot of these drivers to make it through to lap 80 now at this point. Attrition's been high. And so far, it's been also a battle with the racetrack than anything else, Guy.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of cars wreck, but we've seen a lot of them wreck from just getting loose, snapping it loose, hitting the fence. That seems to be the biggest kind of accident that we've seen tonight. I think if these drivers can keep it straight, we'll get some long green flag runs, but it all depends on if they can master the changes to this new setup here and keep the cars straight.
Coming up to the restart zone. Already burned through about 5 laps under caution here. We're backing away. And a good launch once again by the 5. Able to clear by everybody else. Top 4, single file out, just about into the corner. McKay, the first on the outside.
One car I'm looking at here is going to be Jackson Hautala, 1 lap down. Is almost in the fence there for that 88 of McKay. He's almost going to slide it back down into Andrew Allen, too, and he will lose that spot and drop to 6th. Hautala is the first car on the 1 lap, first car 1 lap down, but we know how fast he is tonight. I think he's going to drive up through the field here in a hurry, wait for that next caution to come out, get the lucky dog, and try to win this race.
Restart is good, by the way, for those curious on how things play out there, all while the 23 of Winkfield get the play to the inside. It's the pole in the 92, makes the pass, no issue for Winkfield. It's already back up to 3rd after the spin and slide earlier.
And now he's going to be back up to 2nd here after a big dive all the way down to the apron, a little bit into the grass there on Caleb Hunt in the 78, but he gets that move made, no problems. Cody Giles just ran the fastest lap of the race, but Wingfield is coming to the front, and we know that after that first stint, he had a lot of speed. He almost would have won the first stage there if it wasn't for that contact. So if anybody can come back through the front right now, it's that 23 car. We'll see what he can do.
See if the 78's able to keep it up front, but right now, speed's there for the inside. Pollock able to make the move, no issue. Looks like for him right now. Remember, we're about 5-6 laps in is where some of these drivers have started to really battle with the race cars on these tires. Temperatures start to pick up in them. No major slides so far. The field keeping it comfortable. Natala sliding a little bit though, trying to battle with SB.
I said it, he's 1 lap down, but he's not going to drive like it. He's already passed 9th place Aaron Espy there, just on speed. He might try to get his lap back the old-fashioned way, go up there and pass the leader. Who needs a lucky dog?
Look from one of the drivers trying to make their way through the pack, by the way. This is Wilson. Able to make the move on Zukov, no issue. He had significant front-end damage, still does, on the right front from that contact that didn't bring out a caution flag. Right now that car just driving wounded until it fixes as much damage as possible under the next caution and so forth for the 93 cam. All this while, you see some of the squabbling. Looks like some of the tire wars beginning. Andrew Allen walks it up the track of the FOM entry.
You're going to see tire wear play an increasing role in this run as it goes on, especially if we stay green. The track still pretty hot out there, so these drivers are going to have to be very careful with how they drive this thing in order to not kind of spin it out here on these tires like we saw so many drivers do in that first run.
A bit of a wiggle that time by Fisher. Checks up Brad Nelson. Allen trying to make a pass on both of them to the inside. Tala continuing to try and find a way to unlap himself. Also trying to slip on through. And the 09's going to have to be careful. Any sort of contact can cost them the lucky dog here if they're involved in anything. Tawa, I know he's testing the speed, has to be careful, especially the majorly slow Holston up the track.
That'll put Hautala as the only car 1 lap down, so that'll be pretty good for him, if anything, as he continues to try to mount this charge up here to get his lap back just by passing the leader, which would be really, really impressive for the driver of that 09 car. He's got one of the fastest cars out here today. We know it. He's got that thing fixed. He's got it locked back down, and if he can drive it through the front here, I think he definitely has a chance to bring home a win, at minimum a podium today. He's fast.
There is an opportunity there absolutely for the 09. Just has to be able to get back to the lead lap. Get some caution flags to go on their side right now. Oh, this is, wow, some battles keep up here. Hunt and McKay. This is for 4th. And Caleb Hunt's season has been filled with bad luck after bad luck stretch after bad luck stretch. There's some more bad luck. The 77 car on track. Robert McKay, the 88 on pylon, spins it out. We're under caution.
Not what you want there at all for the driver of that 77 car. Another caution here on lap 55 tonight at Nashville.
That also took the lucky dog from the 09 away. Black Diamond Designs replay. Yeah, McKay slides and it hits the 09 after the contact with the 78. That takes away the lucky dog, that hit there.
That is heartbreaking for that 09 car. Now you've got another caution. You got to get another caution, and it really just delays your opportunity to get back up there and fight for the lead.
More contact being picked up as a result here. Yep, right there. Doesn't seem noticeable there, but he did get a hit to the door. Puts us back to the caution flag. Something's happened. Now Hunt stabilized as Hunt, I believe, avoided any damage, thankfully, from that in his case.
Could have been a lot worse for some of these cars in the field here. It really is just a race of attrition now. These drivers need to be able to hold on to the car, to lock it down, to avoid accidents like this.
So back at a caution, Giles controlling things so far up front. After some of the damage repair earlier, now able to have a clean race car. Let's see. Have a chat with one of the drivers in the field, searching about what's been an interesting one so far. So, we'll say this, your thoughts on the race so far as we get someone dialed up here.
I think we've really just got to kind of back down a little bit with how new the aero package is. I know it's very, very challenging to drive these cars. I know it's very easy to get loose out of the corner. Just got to calm it down. Got to be a little more patient exiting 2 especially, and just make sure you're not going around here.
Field is coming up for the choose. Choose has begun. Inside line chosen by Cody Giles. Let's see a quick word. Cody, how are you feeling in this race car with the new build?
That's, spin out. It's very loose. Tell you that, it's very loose. So it's like I have to be very delicate with my throttle at any given point on the racetrack.
So how difficult will that now be for the rest of this run, knowing you're in the lead and have clean air? We've seen those snap arounds like that.
Twice in stage 1. So it's a matter of just, like I said, don't get in the throttle too early, and just utilize your throttle inputs and just kind of stay clean. That's all I can say.
Good luck on this restart.
Thank you.
Cody Giles, same part of the statement right there. The spinnies for many drivers is a thing with this package. So easy to get loose. You can't be tight either, I've noticed. So you better, what's the word? Get good. We have a good restart for the 5. Off and away.
Good jump for the 5 car there. Wingfield is going to be a little bit closer here now, so we'll see if he can catch back up to that car now that that 1 second gap in between the two isn't there. Battle still going for third. It's got Caleb Hunt on the outside. It's got Pollock on the inside. We'll see who'll prevail down here into 3 and 4. Pollock seems to be holding his own there on the inside, but you mentioned how strong that side draft can be, and Pollock will lose it off the corner. Slide through the grass. No contact there, but he's going to go to last place.
No caution as he goes land sightseeing, able to mow all the logos down. Why does he? So Pollock to the back of the field. We stay green, and we're wrecking on the back straightaway. Zukov and Fisher into the infield. 2 spun down low. No caution as they stay in the grass.
We are going to get a replay here, the Black Diamond Designs replay on what happened here to Alan Zukov in that 91 car. He's running right behind that lap car of Hautala. When this happens, you've got McKay up the road. And the 22, yep, snaps loose out of the corner, slides it down the racetrack, and hits the 91.
And yet again, the wiggles and the spinnies are on for these drivers. They learn how to drive this package. Up front, Wingfield, he's driving his way up into range of the 5. Still less than 20 to go in the stage. Needs to close up 4 or 5 car lengths to be able to get to the draft of Giles and close up to the door.
He'll hope he can close up to that car, but right now Giles just looks a little bit faster than that 23 machine, same as he did in the last run. Once Wingfield got the move for second, he simply wasn't able to close, and it looks like that might be happening again here. Giles, he has the fastest lap of the race, and he's now pulled 1.6 out over Andrew Allen in that 96 car. He's about 0.2 faster than Allen, about 0.3, 3.5, 4 faster than Hunt and Nelson back there, 4th and 5th. Giles, pretty clearly the fastest car. We'll see how this holds up for the next 17 laps until we get to the stage break.
Monty amongst those who have dealt with technical issues, by the way, officially out of the race a few laps ago. So that means your DNF list is already 6 cars deep for those keeping track at home on their scoreboards. Nelson's been fighting all race long amongst those to fight to not be a part of that list. Is it a couple of slides already? Battle Toyota is the 33 trying to make the move to the inside, gets tight.
We'll see if he can make the move here on Caleb Hunt, who's done a pretty good job of staying up front here in that 78 car. You said it. A little bit of a season rebound for that driver. Nelson will prevail on the inside there. He'll get that 4th position, and now Aaron Espy back in 6th is going to be knocking on the door of Caleb Hunt. He'll try to get him on the outside.
Yes, again, the inside's been the dominant line like in real life, as talked about for the most part. Espy that time got the power down to be able to make a move. Knobsnyder, great opportunity for points with everybody having troubles tonight as long as he doesn't join them. He's way up in the wall.
Oh, Hautala looked like he wanted to make it 3 wide there, which would be very risky for a lap car. Now he'll do it anyway, and the 77 down there, McKay's trying to make it 4 wide into that corner. He won't be able to do it, but Hautala will get all of those cars here running in 5th on the racetrack if he was on the lead lap. Knobsnyder up to 6th, and it's McKay trying to bully his way through 4 wide and couldn't get it done, but he'll get around 2 of those cars anyway and get himself to 6th. Caleb Hunt in free fall back to 8th.
Okay, just trying to survive right now, to say the very least. Some of these drivers just trying to figure things out, as said. But we're coming up towards 10 to go on the stage with how things are rolling so far this race. Wingfield has not been able to chip away the gap. He's been struggling with the dirty air. And the thing about once you get into dirty air, these cars take off and get tight fast. You have to be a lot faster as a driver to close up. And right now, Wingfield's seeing that in full effort. Seems to be taking off with the nose out of turn 4 in particular. See right there.
Yeah, he's really not closed on Giles at all. It was 0.4 of a second last time we looked. That gap now up to about half a second. He's not that much slower, but he's certainly not gaining on that 5 car. He's going to need a better stage 3 here if he wants to take the lead of this race. Car on the wall a little bit further back there is Andrew Allen. And we're going to battle back here for P6. That's Knott Snyder up in front of the 88 of Robert McKay. Knott Snyder's holding it pretty well right now. As for McKay, had a problem out of 2. 82 looking good in P6.
Now, so far looking solid right now this race, even with the wall slide up for the 82. Right now these drivers are already 7 seconds off the leader over the course of this run, by the way. Tala, who is still a lap down, has driven himself almost into the range of the top 5 or so as well. So your leaders look like this still. And so far, it looks like these drivers have figured it out after the chaotic stage 1, it seems, Sky.
Yeah, certainly less cautions here in stage 2, less accidents, less chaos. We've still seen a couple cars snap loose here. We haven't fully broken free from that, but the drivers who are still out here have figured out how to exit that corner, how to exit 2 especially, without snapping it loose. And as I say that, the 33 of Nelson, who is running up in 4th, has gone around in turn 4. We're going to get a Black Diamond Designs replay of what happened to that 33 car. I wonder if he clipped the apron with how he spun it there. That would be my main guess as to how he ended up sideways on the very bottom of the racetrack about halfway through 3. So, oh no, it's the lap car of Brett Rinn in the 24. Kind of blocking the road up front and getting Nelson loose.
No caution. We stay green. Somehow no caution. Especially since Nelson still has not been able to get going fully after that slide. And now seems to have been able to get things back into a rhythm at least. 82 just said, I'm in the wall, and he's crashed. Knott Snyder has crashed out of turn 2.
And that car is stopped. That's going to have to be a caution here. That 82. Oh, the right front on that thing is totaled. The wheel is destroyed. He's going to try to drive it back here, and I think the stewards are going to want him to drive it back, but I'm not sure if he's going to actually be able to get it back around there. Look at another Black Diamond Designs replay of what happened to that 82 car. Oh, just got loose into the side there of Robert McKay and up the hill.
Called the near immediately after the wall contact, has been able to make his way to the access road. They're going to stay out of the way of the leaders at least. 6 to go on the stage, by the way. Only 6 more times around in stage number 2 here in the Music City. Leaders are dealing with lap traffic really for the first time. Fisher electing to stay high side here. There goes the 5.
We've got a lot of lap cars here, and Haltal is the only one less than 3 laps down, so I think, all right, I guess Nelson and Fisher too, so I think a lot of these cars are going to move up to the top. The real battle right now, I would say, is can Haltala catch up to Nelson and Fisher before the end of the stage? He's got 5 seconds here separating him and Nelson. He is going to need to get that move done. He's got Nelson, 5 seconds between him and Fisher. He's got Nelson down pretty easily, but over these next 5 laps, Haltala needs 6 seconds on Jeffrey Fisher, or else Fisher is going to get that lucky dog, and Haltala is going to still, for a second caution, be trapped the lap down, even though he'd be 4th if he were on the lead lap.
It gives him a good barometer to see where he is going to stack up later on in the race. So don't spin it now. 4-wheel drifting it to the corner. Tower holds on for now after the major drift in the 09 machine. Still coming around to what will be about 3 to go in the stage now for the field. 3 laps to go in stage 2.
And Giles is still way out front, 8 seconds clear of Rayshawn Winkfield up there. Or my bad, 0.8 of a second clear of Rayshawn Winkfield up there. I am illiterate. He's got that big lead, and Winkfield is not really cutting into it at all. It's only about, he's about 100th of a second faster. He's going to need to do a lot more than that here as we come around to take 2 to go in the stage. Giles is backed down a little bit because he knows he doesn't need to do anything fancy if he wants to hold it on and win.
Pit road's closed, and Giles looking to go back-to-back. Show great speed so far in this series. Whenever we've seen him make starts now. Looking to try and get a 3rd victory on the campaign. 1 lap to go in stage 2. He's on the road to do that with the car clean already, having to get the repairs done. Keeping things smooth. Coming up to the green-white checkered this time by here in Nashville. Winkfield, all he can do is stare back. The closest he got to within about half a second. The 5's been able to dominate this stage. He'll come away leading so far now 37 laps of the race. Win stage 2. Winkfield in 2nd with the green-white checkered. Allen in 3rd. Espy and Wilson. Amongst your 5 drivers should get stage points here as we make our way past the start and finish line. We have had an incident with the 77, or rather the 88. Giles, amongst those who had incidents, we stay green. Or rather, we stay yellow. He had this incident before we got the top 5 across the stage.
Yep, there is McKay sideways through the grass on the Black Diamond Designs replay. He'll loop it here out of the corner. Doing what the admins want him to do. If he loops it off the corner, holding it down to the bottom of the racetrack, although I think they would want him to rejoin in a little bit of a safer manner there.
What's the caution for stage 2? We'll take a quick break. More coverage coming up. You're watching Ballin TV for tonight's coverage. The Mystic Racing League, its Cup Series.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Southern Voice 200 here with the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series. This race now making its way into its third stage, a 65-lap Stage 3, winning all the green flag laps. Cody Giles winning Stage 2. Ready to control the field from the inside. Rayshawn Winkfield to the outside. And it's going to be Allen and SB in row 2. Wilson and Hunt are in row 4. Only 5 chose the outside. The rest of the inside. We're backing away.
Good jump for Giles there off the start. Winkfield is going to have another shot here in this stage to try to prove that he can pass Giles and win this race. He struggled over the last two, the end of stage 1 and all through stage 2. But hopefully in stage 3 for him, he can turn this around and he can get back up there and try to challenge Giles for the win. We're side by side for 4th here. We've got SB on the outside, Isaac Wilson on the bottom. Caleb Hunt fell back during stage 2, but he's back up there in 6th.
So top 2 able to get the launch and run away from the rest of the pack just like that. Field getting into a rhythm on the cold tires here. SB. Oh, some trouble. Wakefield. He's slow off of the corner. He snapped loose, and that's going to cost him a lot of time.
He'll fall all the way back to 4th, and now Aaron Espy will be looking on the top side of that car, trying to steal 4th away. Wingfield's going to lock it back down. He'll hold the spot, but that is not going to be good for the chances of that 23 car winning this race tonight. Cody Giles now 1 second clear up front, and he ran the fastest lap of the race. Closest battle is for P6. It's Alex Pollock up the inside of Caleb Hunt. Gets that spot pretty easily. Nice move there for that 92 car.
So, a lot of these drivers trying to get into a rhythm once again. Tala, by the way, is still amongst those a lap down with the time of the caution flags. It's not been a great run so far for the 09. He's got speed, but since that pass-through penalty, he's not been able to recover that lap at all. Right now is currently just trying to battle it out and hope for a caution flag right now before anyone else gets lapped. But the rest of the field still trying to battle it out like right here. Gillen doesn't get a good launch. Now under attack by both McKay and Wren. Wren is 20 laps down and is loose on the high side. Nearly spun it down into McKay. Now slides it up the track again. Now he slides it across into the blue cone.
And that is a big accident there for the 24 car of Brett Ridd, and I've got maybe even worse news for him than the fact that he's 24 laps down. The Pacers are now losing to the Thunder, so it's not a good night for that 24 car, and it's going to get even worse if he spins it out of 4, which he will. That car is having some major problems.
Those tires are cooked because you know what? With this build, the tires were much quicker, Sky. One slide is worth 10% of your tire wear. So imagine having 3 slides. Your tires are basically dead.
We'll beef about that after the race, DJ. Go Thunder. Yeah, there's a couple updates here on the state of this race. The track temp is finally starting to drop. It was at 95, 96 degrees for a while. It's down to 92. It is slowly getting a little bit colder out here as the sun starts to go down. The other big update, Gino Volanti is out of the race. His power went out, apparently. So he is done for the night in that 35 car.
That's unfortunate for them in this situation. A lot of people have been out in blackouts lately in terms of across the country. But now, Winkfield looks to try and close up a bit of ground for second. Last time by, Winkfield was about a 10th quicker than Allen. Seems to be closing up at a decent clip right now to try and close up to the Chevy.
Certainly trying to close up, but I wonder if he's going to really use up that rubber here in the early portion of that run as Allen banks it off the wall, trying to extend the track down into 1. I wonder if he's used his tires up, both with that big slide and now with trying to charge back to the front. I don't think he's going to have anything for Giles. I think The biggest threat to Giles is going to be if Hautala can finally get that lap back and get some cautions to fall his way. Allen, big loose there through 3 and 4, and he's going to come back up the track into Wingfield. Huge wreck for that 96 car, and the caution is out. That'll be good for Hautala.
That's a caution the 09 needed. That is not the caution Field needed. Under yellow yet again. And watch the black diamond designs replay. Remember what I said about packing air off the spoiler? Just riding that close can cause the car in front to snap.
Yes, it can. You saw it right there for Andrew Allen. Major damage for that car. Wingfield also getting caught up in it as well. And Hautala finally going to get his lap back. He's going to have 56 laps. He would have liked about 60 laps to try to get back up there, but he'll have 56 to see what he can do and see if he can challenge for the lead.
So hard contact. The 96 gets a heavy dose of hits. 23 also picks up some front end damage. It's going to cost him some time in pit road. And back under yellow with less than 55 to go. So we'll see. The 09 does get the wave here. It looks like they're running in position to try and take it though. It looks like he will get the lucky dog. Jackson Hautala is back on the lead lap.
That'll be huge. I don't think it's going to be long before he's in the top 5. I agree. Welcome to his revenge tour. He's going to go from 11th to 5th in a hurry. Just watch. He's going to be dicing through this field here.
So, all this with much of the field coming down at the very least to top off. Caleb Hunt took tires in pit road along with Alex Pollock. So a few drivers playing the tire game. We didn't see too many drivers use sets earlier. There are 5 sets in the pits. A lot of these competitors have a couple sets to spare here.
Yeah, it looks like Hunt, Pollock, Zukov, and Andrew Allen are all going to come down and take tires. Allen will take his faster pair too. Those top 5 cars, Giles, Wilson, Wingfield, Espy, and McKay, are all going to stay out. So we'll see what the difference is between these 2 runs as we get back under green here. Hautala will also come down and put 4 on that car. So that's only going to help him in his charge to the front.
So we'll see how things play out coming up here. Giles chose the bottom. Wilson chose the bottom. Wingfield with damage is still up front. I'm surprised the 23 didn't get the damage repaired here. He's staying up here.
Yeah, well, this is going to be an interesting scenario. I mean, we saw the 5 of Cody Giles have a lot of damage earlier in this race, and he kept running it like nothing was wrong, and he was pretty fast. I think he is definitely faster now that he's gotten the damage fixed, but he was going pretty quick. We'll see if Wingfield can kind of match that strategy at all.
So, we'll see what happens this restart now with the 23 with damage. 52 laps to go here in Nashville. SP already over the back end of the 23 to try and give him a push here for the launch. See if that works out for them for the restart zone. Green flag is out. Great launch for Giles. Wingfield does
we're
get
wrecking. We got a big stack up.
Yet again, we're under caution. And that's Andrew Allen who goes around yet again.
That was a big stack up there for a bunch of those cars. It looked like it started with Caleb Hunt. He kind of snapped loose there on those new tires. I'm not sure what caused that car to snap hard right like it did on the Black Diamond Designs replay. You'll see it right here. That car goes straight right into Andrew Allen.
And some people very lucky they didn't slam into the side of him. But it is Hunt that ends up snapping around. Must have an issue going to the gears there for him to snap like that.
Yeah, something had to have gone horribly wrong on that restart. I'm going to take a look from the onboard cam here at Caleb Hunt. That had to be some sort of gearing issue. I mean, he just snapped it straight right. I'm taking a look here at his onboard. Looks like he downshifted. That would have been the problem. He was restarting in third, sped up, and then shifted the wrong direction to second, and that sent him.
So Wingfield, by the way, this caution came down. Zukov coming down, Hunt coming down since he got an EOL penalty anyway. So it looks like the 23 takes some new tires as well as gets repairs done on the car. Sacrifice track position after the poor restart there. And now it gets interesting on the strategy roulette here. If we get a green flag run, a lot of the cars that haven't pit yet not going to be able to make it the whole distance. Some of these others that have came in, topped off under some of these caution flags might have a different story.
And guess who's in sixth? Jackson Hautala. He is already back up there. Didn't even take him but a straightaway to get up to sixth place. He's second place of the cars who have fresh tires on that car, only behind Alex Pollock, and I think he's faster than the 92 car. Watch out for Hautala to make a run for the lead here. This is going to get good.
It's going to get interesting. Like the 10 paint scheme, by the way. That doesn't fit the theme of the night, though. It's a music theme tonight. We've seen some people take part of the music theme. This is a favorite movie, technically, unless you like the soundtrack.
Soundtrack's pretty good. Movie's good, soundtrack's good. Jurassic Park, classic.
So, get ready for a restart. The 5, the 93 up front. Tala start this on the outside in row 3. And it looks like he's getting ready to get up on the wheel and make sure he is locked in and ready to try and get in the top 5 here quickly.
He's gonna start in 6th, so I think he'll get into the top 5 pretty quick. But if he can make his way through these cars who are on older tires, he is gonna be a threat to win this race right now. He's gonna get up there to Cody Giles here just on basis of having fresher rubber, of having a clean car. Watch out for that 09. I'm a little biased because I picked him to win this race at the start, and now I've gotten attached to him over the course of the night. But I think he's got a lot of speed in that thing, and I think he's been waiting for a chance to let it go.
Here we go again. 48 laps to go. Green flag is out, back it away, and now Wilson spins the tires. Caution flag is out, and half the field has crashed.
That is a lot of your leaders as well. We'll get a Black Diamond Designs replay on this here in just a second. That is a lot of your cars who were running up at the front of the field. That, I'm really not sure what the shifting issue was there for the 93 of Wilson. Running on those old tires, he upshifted to second, and there it went. You see Zukov collected, Ullman collected. Major damage there for a lot of cars. And one thing I am noticing is a 22 at Jeffrey Fisher, pretty hard damage in that as well. One thing I am noticing is that third place is Jackson Hautala. He hasn't even needed to pass anybody. They're just wrecking and he's going through all of them. Doesn't even need to use those tires.
See some of them trying to dodge. or pick the smoke and drive into the side of a car. And no meatball flags. EOL is the 93, by the way. Let's take a break. More coverage coming up. You're watching the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series. We continue with coverage of the Southern Voice 200 after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Makoni.
With the launch of Makoni Entertainment and Makoni Competizone alongside Makoni Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MakoniSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to Nashville, where cautions, precautions, precautions, precautions. We've had 2 incidents on the restarts in a row. What will happen this time? Green flag is out. A lot of people playing it very conservative on the restart. This time, Atala is in second.
I don't think it's going to be long before he catches Giles on those 14-lap pressure tires. We've seen how the old tires can struggle on restarts. And as this track gets colder, and after about 8 or 9 straight laps of caution, Giles is going to be struggling. How Tala is going to be on the move.
Can he find his way up to the front? It's been a battle to be able to get back up here all race long for the 09 machine. Now he's in position and potentially lead for the first time since very early in this race when he got that black flag penalty. This time a little bit tight coming off the corner. Seems to be pushing a bit now that he's in traffic. Robert McKay, who's spun out several times tonight, is in third.
Never give up, never surrender. That's the case for Robert McKay tonight, because he has had one wild day, up and down and sideways and backwards, and he is still in third here with 42 to go. It might work out for him after all. He's got Rayshon Winkfield right on the back of that car. Cody Giles, new fastest lap, even though he's on worn tires as the lap times continue to come down. And how Tala's not really catching him. In fact, he is going to get caught by McKay and Winkfield here in a second if he doesn't get moving.
Yeah, a bit of a slap to the wall that time for the 09 machine. Don't avoid that there as Winkfield still keeping the pressure up. Remember, Winkfield is the first of those who pit about a couple cautions ago. He's now looking for third, fresher rubber. There's the side drop, there's the pole. The 88 pulled on by Wingfield to third.
Well, don't count McKay out just yet. He's kind of trying to get a crossover built up here down the front straightaway. Just not close enough, though, exiting the corner to actually make that challenge and get back up to Wingfield. So that'll be Robert McKay settling fourth for now as we're side by side and we got a little bit of contact for fifth. That's Andrew Allen. He's been in some accidents today, too. He's sliding up the road into the 33 of Brad Nelson. Both of them keep it straight. Even if you've been in some accidents, if you're still going, you've got a good shot here. We've only got 11 cars on the lead lap, so this has really been a race of attrition. And if you have kept it on the lead lap, you haven't had to fix too much damage, you're going to be up here at the end. Haltala is still a tenth of lap slower than Giles. He needs to get that thing moving. I wonder if he's trying to save tires to the end of the stint or maybe save fuel to try to make it to the end. I'm not sure, but he's not picking up pace on Giles right now.
No one's been able to close up to the 5 here in this stretch. Still seeing some of the others just separate and spread out. 11 cars are currently on the lead lap, mind you, with how things have played out throughout this race. As we take a look at Atala again, get to a rhythm. And here's the thing. The 5, potentially the 09, and the 88, I think are pretty certain cannot make it if it stays green here. They need our caution because in theory, we should be just about inside the green light on fuel with a 50% fuel tank. Some of these drivers need it to start to get caution-free caution so they can get on fuel.
Yeah, that's going to be something to watch here coming into the last 37 laps of this race is that fuel strategy. And we've got one car down. Jeffrey Fisher here is going to come down, but he's 3 laps down, so not sure if that's a scheduled stop. Oh, around goes the 33 of Brad Nelson. Kind of just turned himself there off the front of McKay. That'll slow that 88 car up. He'll lose time to Andrew Allen, and looks like Pollock as well in the 33's around again in the middle of the track. Aaron Espy, big hit. Caution's out.
Let's take a look at the Black Diamond Designs replay. Another incident. Another caution flag. And that was from the top to the bottom. 33 trying to hold on to it, slither his way back to the gears. 16 goes high, 8, and the 33 loops it.
I'm not entirely sure what happened to Brad Nelson off the corner there. I think he was just trying to drive it with some really major damage. The car kind of tried to like hook to the left off the corner. He tried to counter steer it and yeah, just went around. That's big hits for both of those cars, and I think they both... Actually, good news, neither of them have used the fast repair, so they should be able to fix that car, although Nelson has gone 1 lap down.
This is the caution that the 5 and the others needed, though. This gets them to the end on fuel.
They will. Giles into the pit lane, and it looks like everybody will follow him down. Haltala, Wingfield, Allen all in as well. Haltala's going to want a good pit stop here to try and jump that 5 car on pit road. Your entire lead lap is in. Ooh, Giles had to kind of pull it up there to get into the pit box. And we have a couple cars going 2 tires or going fuel only there who are going to come out ahead of Giles and Haltala is going to beat Giles off. Terrible pit stop for Cody Giles. He is still in the box. Maybe fixing some damage. He is going to free fall there.
Didn't even get off the jack until just now. To the back goes the 5. It's led 73 laps tonight. And the lead now goes the way of Allen and Wingfield with the strategy roulette here. So 33 laps to go here. At this point, I'm not sure how this race is going to play out. With how many cautions we've seen, with how many strategy flips we've seen, this race has been chaotic. Right now, Andrew Alvin, the net leader. Andrew, talk to us about the strategy call.
I only have one set of tires left, so I'm trying to save them. That's the only strategy I have.
So an extra pace a lot before the choose. How has it been battling this new package for these cars where it seems like everybody's having a very fun time?
Honestly, I like this a lot more than the old tire that we had. A little bit more fun, a little bit more challenging, and you definitely have to warm them up before you get going.
So what's the game plan now that you're up in front on the older tires with the tire set situation? What's the plan for you and your team?
Right now, just to stay out front, let them battle behind me, and pray for a caution in about 10-15 laps.
Well, see what happens. Don't spin out the car here. Your car seems to want to snap around when you swerve right here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes, be careful.
I will do.
Andrew Allen, his team, now sees a 1-3 up front. The FLM machines going to have good position here for the shoes. So tire sets are starting to become even more of a finite resource, it seems, for some of these teams at least. We'll see where the 96 chooses. They choose inside.
And I'm looking at this right now. So you've got Allen, Wingfield, and Gillen who are on. Well, Gillen is actually going to make a move down pit road here. So he is going to top it off on fuel again, or maybe take some tires on that 10 car. So it's just going to be Allen and Wingfield on that fuel-only strategy. Giles did not go as far back as it initially looked like he might there. Good choose, and he's up into 5th in that 5 car. Only 1 row behind Hautala. So if Hautala can get away from Giles, I think he might stand a chance. But we know that 5 car is fast. We know he's been putting down some of the fastest laps of the race. Gloves are going to be off now for both of those cars. We'll see how this works out over the last 32 laps.
Let's find out how this is going to go. Alex Pollock's wall cheering him on. He'll be restarting from 4th. 31 laps to go in this race as Allen and Wingfield are on the front row ready to get the launch down. Good timing up for the restart by the teammates. They get clear. Back it away.
Hautala already up there trying to make a blitz for the lead. Got around Wingfield early there as Wingfield is on that fuel-only call, but the 23 is starting to close back up. Hautala has 1 car in between him and Giles up here at the front of the field, and that car could be everything. Hautala is kind of slow there mid-corner. I'm not sure what's up with that, but Wingfield is going to try to get around him here.
Wingfield looking to make the move for 2nd. Someone still's on a different strategy, trying to make it work on the rubber. Still couldn't make the clear work, and look who's made up most of the ground back after spending time pit road. The 5 joins the fun too. It's now a 3-car battle with 29 laps to go. Giles goes the inside. Hautala shuffle back to 3rd.
Hey, this is good for Andrew Allen, though, because the more these cars go side by side, 3 wide, fighting each other for 2nd, Allen is going to be able to extend that lead on those old tires, and Hautala takes Wingfield up the road, and Giles is through for 2nd without a fight. That's huge for that 5 car.
Able to slip on by as a result of those 2 door banging a little bit through 1 and 2. Giles is one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now, and closing quickly on Allen. Zoom on by, look the other direction as you see the 5 try and close up. Sliding up the track as Allen on the old tires. Here comes the 5 for the race lead with 27 laps to go.
There goes Caleb Hunt.
Caution flag is out just as the 5 got there. Hunt gets hit, and we're back under yellow. That was Holston, his paint scheme made into him.
And I don't think Giles got the lead. Andrew Allen will hold it on this next restart. Get a Black Diamond Designs replay. Sorry about cutting you off there, but you'll see as we come down the back straightaway. 78 of Caleb Hunt gets loose off the corner and comes right back across the racetrack, narrowly missing Aaron S. and hitting Holston in the 8.
Our caution flag, and yet again, someone spins out of the corner. It's been a commonality all throughout this race. See right there on the exit. The 8 tries to stay high. Holston couldn't find a way around the 78, who was already over against the wall.
Yeah, just another accident here that's going to stack up the field as we hit 25 to go here under this caution. We're going to go back green on 24 to go. It'll still be Andrew Allen up front. He wanted a caution when we spoke to him in the interview, but he didn't want one now. He wanted one in about 5 or 10 laps that would have pulled more cars down pit road with him. Now he's still on those old tires, and he's a little bit of a sitting duck out there with Cody Giles, the fastest car all night in P2.
Still coming up to 25 laps to go now. And still no stop made by the 96, so that looks like they're hoping for a little bit closer on the tire window. Right now, the temperature on the track, by the way, down to 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Air temp staying around 82. So we are starting to see those core temperatures we were predicting. Just took a little bit more time here towards the end of the race for the grip levels. Should help with the spinning, but we'll see.
We will see here for these cars. I think it's going to be a little bit easier here now that all these drivers have laps on the tires. It's kind of a middle ground. You know, new tires, you're going to struggle, you're going to spin. Old tires, you're going to struggle, you're going to spin. But everybody except for Allen up there has about 10 or so laps on those tires, and that's kind of a sweet spot to where you should be able to restart pretty well.
Coming up to the restart. Allen, Giles, Atawa, Pollock, SP. Wilson amongst the top 6 cars for this upcoming restart. Brad Nelson's come back down pit road with issues as he had been set to be the 11th car. Believe he will still get a chance to fire off. And we have a delayed yellow, delayed green. Somebody slow down. It looks like they've had to extend things as they're looking at things on the race control side of things.
Gonna be one more lap, then we'll go back green with 23 to go here. That's maybe a little better for Andrew Allen, gives him more time to hold on here. We are gonna pull up into the booth here. One of our drivers in tonight's race, that'll be Jackson Hautala in the 09. He is currently running third. Hey Jackson, you got a copy up here in the booth.
I gotcha.
How's it going? You're running third right now. What do you think you need to do to get up to that lead?
Honestly, right now, that 5's pretty fast. If I can get around him, that's great. Got the 96, my teammate here, hopefully giving him a decent push at the start. But I don't know, if we get it, we get it. I feel like I've passed more cars than anybody today. I keep shooting myself in the foot, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you were trapped the lap down for a while. How'd it feel when you finally got back on the lead lap?
I was prime 2000s, 2010s Kyle Busch, screaming to my teammates. I was madder than mad, that's for sure. But we got back on the lead lap, running third right now. Hopefully get a top 5 out of this, you know?
All right, well, I'll send you back up with your teammate there, Andrew Allen. Good luck on the restart.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Jackson,
all right,
getting
he's
up on
locked
you.
in.
I think so. But can he stay locked in to be able to pass by these 2 in front of him? That's going to be the tough challenge. The 5's been fast. The 96 doing a good job up front. We come for the restart. Coming around to 23 to go. And the Southern Voice 200. Giles still have technical issues, but see if those hold on. Push on along by the teammates. Yet again, the teammate count works like a charm. The top two now from FLM.
That's a good jump there for Hautala, and most importantly, it'll get him ahead of Giles. That is exactly what he needs if he wants to challenge for the win of this race. Wonder if we'll see a little bit of teammate action here. Maybe Allen doesn't race Hautala too hard and tries to hold up Giles, or Allen is going to race Hautala really hard. It looks like he's going to pull up high, and they're going to try to let Hautala through on the bottom, and Allen is going to pull in between Hautala and Giles and try to create some space for that 09 car to get away in the lead.
Hautala tries to take off, all while Allen nearly lost it out of two. Giles able to clear on by for second. Wilson also making his ground to the pack. Nearly just got into the back end of Pollock. Winkfield takes the cut inside. Some of these drivers getting very dicey with their corner selections here. Near troubles for some of these drivers.
SB up to 6th there, getting that move done on the 93 of Wilson, and now you've got McKay there for 8th, although he is loose and he's way up the track. And he is spinning as well. Gonna save it, gonna save it. He is not gonna save it. Oh, I am not sure how that was not an accident. Oh my goodness.
No caution, we stay green. And now we get sorted out for the rest of the pack, all while Wilson trying to clear by SB. Wow, indeed, is all you can say as Winkfield tries to make things go wow from the outside. He is the most recent of those to take tire sets here with less than 20 laps to go, trying to make the move with the 92.
Winkfield there rolling on the outside. He wants to get back onto that podium where he was running earlier in this race. If you remember, he almost won stage 1 there before a late accident. So we know he's got speed in that 23 car. Started last today, drove it all the way up through the field to 4th. If he can get around Pollock and hold on to that position. Giles is closing in on Hautala up front with 19 to go. That gap has dropped down to 0.2 of a second. The 5 car is rapidly closing in. We're going to get a battle for the lead here over the next couple laps.
This should get fun once again for the point. We've seen how close things got for Giles to take the lead before. Now ready to do it again. Hautala misses the bottom. Here it comes to 5. He gets to the door. Now gets the run alongside the numbers. Trying to get himself in front of the front end. Giles gets the edge. Looking to clear. Hautala with the squeeze. Hautala gets loose off the corner. Giles to the point.
You mentioned that the side draft can work here in this new package, and that is what Hautala is trying to do. Side draft that 5 all the way off the corner. Take away any sort of run he could get. But he's not close enough there. He slides it up a little bit. Tight off the corner, and Giles comes up in front. New leader is the 5 of Cody Giles.
Oh, and Hautala trying to get him loose again. Here we send it right into the back bumper. Instead, Giles able to get a cushion of 2-3 car lengths with 16 laps to go. It's the 5's race to lose here.
And Hautala's up the track again there. He's getting tight in that 09 car. He is struggling at the moment. Battle back for 3rd. Allen on those old tires is getting caught up by Winkfield. Trying to move himself up onto the podium position here tonight. Looking a little bit high so he can try to pull the crossover down the front straightaway. Not quite close enough, but a wiggle from Allen might open the door.
Meanwhile, Allen's tires are fading quickly. Again, he needs a caution, needs it badly here. Drivers like Winkfield able to just drive on by the high side for the most part here. Winkfield able to send it deeper into the corner. Plants it around the 96, makes the move. Less than 14 laps to go this time by the stripe. Winkfield able to get up to the top 3. So Allen gave it a good try on the strategy. but needs something to go his way if he wants to try and battle things out for good points here.
Hautala is struggling. That car has gone back to 0.8 of a second back at Giles. He had a terrible last lap. 0.3 slower. Wingfield is actually faster than that 09 car right now, and I wonder if he's going to be able to catch him with 13 to go at the line this time. The battle might not be for the lead, but for second instead.
Yeah, right now Hautala starting to drift back on time. Last time by was quicker than Cody Giles, but the downside is he's already lost 0.7 net. On average, 0.2 quicker nearly has been the 5 the past 5 laps. Hautala just getting tighter and tighter off the corner. That time so tight he got loose.
Ooh, it's not going well for Hautala, and that's another lap where Wingfield is faster behind him. He's doing his best to try to catch Giles, but I think it's really going to be Wingfield back there in third. That's his main competition at the moment. Yeah, that gap's going to be even smaller now. Down to 0.1 of a second separating the 09 and the 23. A lot of speed for Rayshawn Wingfield, and as we hit 11 to go, he is turning on the jets, running faster lap times than the 5 car up front in that 23.
Here we go. Wingfield tries from the high side. Hautala trying to block to the inside of the battle for second. Wingfield able to slip by, no issue, to get to the high side alongside the 09. Makes the move and able to make the pass. Hearing there's some trouble for the caution. David Moyers parked it on the racetrack. A screen freeze for the 47 puts us under yellow.
And this will be huge for Wingfield. If he can keep up that speed gap to Giles, he might have something for the win.
Just full throttle into the wall and just kept going until the car came to a stop. Take a look again.
Yeah, we'll get a Black Diamond Designs replay here of what happened to Moyer. It said screen freeze coming off the corner. And yep, that's a screen freeze right there. Straight into the inside wall.
So a hard crash once again puts us under yellow. Take a quick break. The run to the finish coming up. Watching Ball on TV for tonight's coverage of the Southern Voice 200 here from Nashville Superspeedway. Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series. So far, it's been a whirlwind of a race, and now after pit stops, strategy has spun the roulette of positions around again. Rayshawn Winkfield is currently your leader. Brad Nelson on the outside. Zukov also staying out this caution. Isaac Wilson took 2 tires along with Pollock to gain track position. Giles restarts in 7th. Back underway. The race reaching its final stretch. 6 laps to go from Nashville.
And this is going to be some all-out racing here as Hautala and Giles on new tires try to move their way to the front of the field. That's going to be Hautala up to 4th with 6 to go. Does he have enough in the tank to get up? Isaac Wilson on a 2-tire call in the 93. Can he be the hero? It's all up for grabs here, and Hautala gets tight into the side of Wilson. Big slow off the corner. Now Zukov's going to try to get around him, and we're almost wrecking further back. Pollock and Allen are into each other, and it's the 92 going ice skating.
Having to hold on to it, though, after leaning on some drivers. We stay green. Ryan Hautala zips on the outside. He's the second out of those on fresh tires. Less than 4 laps to go. And right now, running at a time is everybody who pit. So far, the staying out strategy working out for Winkfield with only 4 more circuits to go.
It's 1.4 seconds, and they're going to need to pass 2 cars if they want to get up to Winkfield. That is a tall order this late in the race. I think Rayshawn Winkfield has played this strategy absolutely perfectly, but a caution is going to fly at the back. It is Alan Zukov in the grass.
Also around is Gillen on the racetrack. We're under caution. That was a battle for about 6th or so. All vehicles are rolling, but the Black Diamond Science replay will show why we're under yellow again.
It is Gillen into the back of Zukov there. Zukov was trying to move down the racetrack, and I don't think he was fully clear. Gillen makes contact, and the 91 is looping it. 10 also looping it up on the racetrack, and that's what brought out the yellow. It is going to be overtime. A mad dash for these drivers to try to get to the front. Will Winkfield be able to hold them off and go last to first? Will Giles be able to get back up there? Will Hautala use the fresh tires to get back up there? It's all up for grabs. This is going to be chaos.
Our chaotic sequence coming up, to say the very least. 10 lucky not to get hit by anybody as they locked it down. Slid the tires all across the racetrack. John Ullman amongst those, who was the last running, in fact, of the racetrack that had to go into evasive action.
This is going to be a wild restart here to decide the race. This is going to be a lot of fun.
So a green-white checkered situation looks like coming up here for the field. And Winkfield's cushion is gone on the older tires here. Isaac Wilson be the 3rd person to go through the shoes. Green-white checkered attempts, by the way, unlimited in this series. So, as long as we get to the white flag, it's a race to checkered quite simply. If we have any spins before the white flag, we'll try it again until we get to that point. So, not expecting to use a ton of restarts here, but it's going to be the question, who's going to get a good fire off? The 93 has a shot here.
Well, this is the exact opposite of what Rayshawn Winkfield wanted to see. He was looking so good. He had that 1 second lead. He was 1.5 over the next car on fresh tires. If that stayed green, I think Rayshawn Winkfield had that race on lock. But now, a caution. And he's going to survive at least 1 overtime, maybe multiple here, to try to get it to the checkered here tonight. Not only that, but the cars who are on fresher tires. Isaac Wilson, who's on 2. Hautala, who's on 4. Giles, who's led the most laps this race and is also on 4, are starting 1 row behind him, and they are going to be hungry to steal this one away. Wingfield is going to have to do a lot if he wants to hold on to this win tonight, and he is going to be driving like his life depends on it.
So let's try this again. Green red checkered finish to decide it. Here from Nashville. Wingfield, Nelson, Wilson, Hatawa, Giles, Allen. They're all stacked up here in the first 3 rows with a chance to win it. There goes the pace car, and there goes the sunshine with it. Slow roll to the restart zone. Green flag is out. Everyone bumping bumpers. Wingfield clears. Wilson couldn't get fired off to get alongside the 33. As now there's the block from Nelson.
Big jump out front for Wingfield, but here comes Hautala on the top. He's on 4 fresh tires. There goes the 33 in front of the field. Giles involved. And the caution is out. And Giles, who's led the most laps all night, was on 4 fresh tires, might be done. He has left the session.
Not going to be happy, to say the very least. 33 play the lanes, but the 93 taking air off the spoiler, stacks him up. Black Diamond Designs replay. Watch the carnage out of 2.
This is chaos. You can see the 33 here. He just steps out off the corner. 93 runs into the back of him, collects Giles, collects Caleb Hunt. Several cars involved in that accident, taking some damage, and that'll be the end of Cody Giles' race. He will finish outside the top 10 tonight. Devastating for a car that led so many laps this race, but that's the risk of taking tires and putting yourself back in that field, is that it can all go wrong. And this is going to be huge for the 09 car of Jackson Hautala. He's going to be restarting on the front row on fresher tires. If he has any chance to win this race, it's going to be right here. He is going to go for it.
$33 and $93 both getting cause of caution.
Yeah, I was about to say they're both getting to the back there, which is going to promote Andrew Allen up to 3rd. Has he come down to take tires? Yes, he has. He's on the same strategy as Hautala back there. So you've got teammates 2nd and 3rd. They could work together to get each other around Wingfield here. I would not be surprised if they line up right next to each other on the choose. Isaac Wilson going to the back, and that'll promote Alex Pollock up to 4th on this choose. Aaron Espy, 5th. Robert McKay has been all over the place today, and he will be 6th. One thing I'm noticing here up front is that only 2 cars who started in the top 10 are running in the top 10. That's Hautala, and that is Isaac Wilson in the 93. Every other car up here started outside the top 10. Wingfield started in last tonight. Andrew Allen, 14th. Pollock, 11th. Espy, 12th. McKay, 13th. Zukov, 17th. Hunt, 18th. And Gillen, 21st. And once Wilson drops out there, it'll be Zach White in 16th, promoted to 10th. So, seems like the better strategy was to start in the mid-pack tonight and get yourself up. We'll hit the choose. It'll be Wingfield on the bottom. And just like we expected, Hautala and Allen, the teammates, are going to ride the top and try to get a 1-2.
Will this work out for them? That's the huge question as the in-sim time ticks its way past 7 o'clock. Wingfield looking to pick up another victory for the first time since the early portion of the season. Drivers like Hautala trying to join the wins list. Allen, the highest running out of those without a win, are up there as well.
I would like to note here, this might be our second to last chance at an overtime because we're running up against the session limit. We're under 10 minutes to go in this iRacing session. If we get a caution here, we're only going to get one more chance at it, at most.
That's actually a huge point here, and the cautions happen about 4 or 5 minutes per caution period. Let's find out how this is going to work out. Coming up to the start zone, Wingfield and Hautala on the front row, ready to get a fire off for the ages. Pace car's off. All set for the restart zone. Allen pushes a top.
Oh!
Did that cause an issue? That caused a backup, if anything. Allen tries to keep on the 09, and the 23 pulls away.
I wonder if he's going to get a black flag for that. Big loose into the corner is Pollock in the 92, but he makes the save he needs to make to keep us green, and the battle is going to be the one up front. Now Tala to the outside of Rayshawn Wingfield as we head down into 3 and 4. We stay green. Does the 09 have the run? Not yet. He's going to get a better run down the straightaway, and we'll see if he can catch Wingfield. White flag, Rayshawn Wingfield.
Final time around here at Nashville Superspeedway. Tala tries to wrap it around the yellow line. Wingfield stays up on the second groove. Wingfield amongst the drivers that's had to scratch and claw their way to position all night. Tala trying to get close. Trying to see if the car will stick. No, it won't. Rayshawn Wingfield, for the second time this season, gets a win in MRL. He does it in Nashville.
And that's a huge win for him, all on the pit strategy. He stayed out on that last caution, and that's what got him the win.
A win for Wingfield here tonight. We'll get a chance to celebrate that one in style. It's one of the drivers that looked pretty solid at Charlotte last weekend as well, but tonight he's the one able to top it off on strategy. 16 laps led on the way to victory. Good smoke show being put up by Wingfield here tonight. A chance to step aside in a moment or so as the car resets. We'll take a chance to reset post-race coverage. Coming up, you're watching Ballin TV for coverage of the MRL and the Southern Voice 200.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to iRacing's virtual Nashville Superspeedway for tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series. Where in the end, it came down to survival of the fittest. Rayshawn Wingfield gets the win tonight over Jackson Huntala. Third spot goes the way of Alex Pollock. Espy in fourth, with Gillen in the top 5. White, McKay, Allen, Zukov, and Hunt, your top 10's guy.
Isaac Wilson will finish 11th tonight. Brad Nelson, 12th. Last car on the lead lap. Jeffrey Fisher, 13th. Cody Giles led the most laps, but only finished 14th. Reggie Kime, 15th. John Ullman, 16th. David Moyer, 17th. Adam Holston, 39 laps down, and 18th. Knott Snyder and Brett Rinn, both 80-plus laps down, 19th and 20th.
21st went the way of Joe Valenti, had a power outage. Christopher Benning was wrecked on pit road. He finished 22nd. Gill, Thornton, Wade, and Barnes round out your finishers here tonight. 26 drivers took the chance to go to Nashville Superspeedway, but only one could get the win. Still waiting on Rayshawn Wingfield. Talk to him after this victory here tonight, but we do have Alex Pollock, third place, standing on by. Alex, talk to us about your night here with this car.
I enjoyed it, actually. I was very worried about the new tire model. Practicing before the race, I mean, things were slick. but then the track temp started dropping as we got later and later in, and you had more grip. So it made it a lot more tolerable. It was still pretty loose coming out of turns if you weren't your throttle control wasn't great, but it was a fun race.
How'd you feel about the new car package with the update this week? How's the learning curve been?
Like I said, I was very scared going into it. I was running some practice laps on my own throughout the week, and I was struggling, but it all came together. The aerodynamics definitely a little bit different now, but that made it easier to side draft. And if people were in front of you too wide, you would pull in with their draft because they were slowing each other down. So it made the interesting race for sure. It looked like real NASCAR. So I congratulate iRacing on the update. It'll be tough to get used to, but I think it's definitely a good thing.
So with that being said here, talk to us a little bit about the paint scheme tonight. We didn't get the chance to touch too on the music per se, as some people took part. Or you're the ones who did take part. Talk to us about the music choice.
Yep, so I got Shinedown on the card tonight. They're one of my favorite bands. I've seen them live probably 15 plus times. So I really enjoyed their music. I've raced music schemes all week long. So I had Kiss on the car, I've had Tim McGraw on the car, and Papa Roach on the car. So I had all my 4 favorite band singers. It was a fun little theme week for us here at Mystic Racing League.
Anyone who want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Yep, shout out to the 5-star racing team. Brett and Adam both unfortunately did not finish this race, but they helped spot me there at the end and helped me work my way up the final lap for sure. They helped a lot there. And then shout out to Black Diamond Designs. If you need a design, hit me up. We'll make a good looking scheme for you. Shout out to you guys for putting on a great broadcast, and shout out to Mystic Racing League.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Thank you. Hopefully we talk again soon.
Alex Pollock finishes off in third. Jackson Hotella finished off in second. He spoke with Sky earlier. He gets to do it again.
Second place tonight. You couldn't quite get it done, but it's still a good result. How's it feel?
Honestly, this feels like one of those nights where nothing's going my way. Like I was saying earlier, shot myself in the foot, jumping a restart. I'm going to have to go look at that. I feel like he went past the box. I'll get a replay at that soon. Got trapped a lap down, involved in a wreck at the start. Was supposed to get the free pass way earlier. Another caution, it counted me in it. And to top it off, second place when I had newer tires. That I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself. I want to say there's always next week, but Daytona, it's whatever. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it looked a little rough out there at the end for you. It looked like you were just getting tight on those tires. You couldn't quite make it turn the way you wanted. What was going on there?
Yeah, especially later on in the night when track started to grip up. Just dirty air. I got super tight and got beside the 23 there at the end, overdrove the corner. And that was it, coming to the white. But yeah.
All right, anyone you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank the 96, Andrew Allen. He gave me a good push on that second to last restart, put us both in position. I expect to see him running up front next week for sure. Everybody at Fast Living Motorsports, Isaac, Josh, Alice, everybody over there. I want to thank my girlfriend. Hi, Mom, I guess. Yeah.
All right, well, congrats on P2 tonight, Jackson Hautala.
Thank you.
And I do not believe we have been able to get Rayshawn Wingfield in here. So, Justin, tell us about next week.
Well, let's take a look and talk about things because iRacing doesn't have Mexico City yet. We do have the Daytona Road Course. So it will be Daytona Road Course for next week, June the 20th. 8 p.m. the start time here in the Mystic Racing League. Be sure to tune in for a road course racer to see who's able to handle the road course in style here on the iRacing service. It should be interesting to see, to say the very least, how drivers fare out there. Well, what are your thoughts tonight, Sky, as these drivers lead their way into Daytona next week?
Oh, Daytona's going to be a fun one, I think. It's not a track that gets ran a lot in the stock cars. It's mostly a track that gets ran in GT racing. So I'm pretty excited for that one. I think it's going to put on a good show.
Once again, 8 p.m. the start time for that one. But it's just about time to say goodbye for tonight's coverage here at the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series. Like, thank you for tuning in here on Ballin TV for tonight's coverage. For our producer, DJ Lyon, our co-announcer, Sky Shrek, I'm Justin Prince, getting ready to say so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching the MRL and its Cup Series from iRacing's virtual Nashville Superspeedway. Congratulations to Ray Sean Winkfield. Gets the job done tonight in the Southern Voice 200.